today. From NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. This is the National Football League. We'll see Tyrod Taylor and the Houston Texans taking on Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with the Seattle Seahawks. And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. And the Texans set to take over on offense, and we see them led out by their veteran quarterback in his 11th season in the NFL, but first in the Lone Star State, Tyrod Taylor.
One of the classiest quarterbacks in the NFL, and always in a difficult position because he has the skills to be a starter, but there's usually a youngster behind him that they're grooming and they want on the field. But when given an opportunity to be the guy, he's led teams to the playoffs, and he's also gone to the Pro Bowl. A great combination of arm and legs, not to mention a brilliant mind.
Now Taylor on first down. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
You know, I don't think this is the last time we'll see that in this game. This guy has mobility, and they want to use his legs in the game plan. So there will be designed runs as well as his scrambles.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10.
Yeah, let's go sandwich.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, second and 12.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Now they contend with a second and 12 after the loss.
Go, go, go. 56 to Mike. 56 to Mike.
Now Taylor. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big connection on that one. 34 yards.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's first and 10 just outside the 30.
Check 26.
Now they'll run the option to the short side left. Taylor hit. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. And for the first time, we get a look at the veteran Russell Wilson as he gets set to lead yet again this Seattle Seahawks offense.
And similar to his nickname, Russell Wilson has a dangerous mix of skills, the ability to throw from the pocket and extend plays and throw on the run. Not to mention an absolute winner. Usually has his team in the playoffs competing for Super Bowl opportunities.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 34. Following the fumble recovery, Wilson. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. And we see the emphasis early here. Get your star receiver involved, able to do it successfully.
Not a bad start to begin with, that's for sure. And to me, this play says our guy is better than your guys. Because, you know, a player of his stature, he won't just be single covered all game long. It's going to involve multiple people. And right away, they told the other team, guess what? He's just better.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. It's a big play there for Seattle. Sometimes the one-handed catches are unnecessary, but he was trying to ward off the defender with the other, so maybe that was just a good play.
So that tells you that not only do they imagine those types of catches, they actually work on them with defenders jostling them in order to keep their concentration and haul it in.
1st and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. Trying to punch it in with Collins. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Alex Collins punching it in from a yard away. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. Nice job of polishing off that drive, but all the credit there goes to that play prior.
Yeah, it certainly does, because after that big play, I think resistance almost felt futile at that point, didn't it? And the very next play, they come right back, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and put it in the end zone.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. The touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And it'll come out to the 25 as King opts for the touchback. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Oftentimes when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
54 Mike.
Taylor will throw. Out to the left, he's got his tight end, Akins.
Brandin, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync,
stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
He gets it to Cooks. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. So the completion there, Charles, looking at this defense, certainly in for a tough task here this afternoon. What are some of the keys for them if they want to come out on top?
Well, the first thing, partner, is they just allowed a completion there. They don't want to get a string of those going. Let him get his confidence. Let him get into the rhythm of the game, the flow of the game, and all of a sudden, he's feeling like he can do no wrong. You want to really get after his timing a little bit, knock a few balls away, and make things uncomfortable for him. Because if he feels relaxed, you are in for a tough afternoon.
No gain on the play there, second down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Here's Taylor to throw. And he lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Now it's Taylor. And he'll find Akins there, complete. Not much there, only a yard.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Still 9 remaining on second down. From the gun, it's Taylor. And he finds Danny Amendola. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. Here's Taylor. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Akins. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. On 2nd and 7, Taylor. That's complete to the tight end, Akins. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 20-yard line.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
From the red zone now, here's Taylor on first down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Brandin Cooks, the receiver he was going after, and that'll bring up second down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw is Taylor. And he comes back with one complete. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. So they need 2 yards here on 3rd down. Remember, they're already 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Johnson fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Pardon me, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
They'll begin the drive with Collins. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down.
I guess it's good we can't really read the mind of the defensive coordinator now, huh?
Had him pinned back there deep, give up that run. Can't be happy.
Yeah, whatever is in his mind right now, we probably couldn't say over the air.
So a little more space to work with here from the 13 on 1st and 10. They run with Collins. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Drops it underneath for Collins. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. The Texans here on third down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. From the shotgun, Wilson. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line.
Partner, it's often that man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taken off with it. What a big-time pickup on that play.
A pair of first downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. Wilson. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Options galore here, second and a few inches. Here's Wilson. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. That's complete. It's Collins. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Again, Wilson. There's the rookie from Western Michigan, Dwayne Eskridge. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 22-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. This has been a long drive. You know that defense there craving to get off the field. They were able to force it free but couldn't recover it.
Yeah, and on the offensive side of the ledger, they were thinking about how do we punctuate this drive with 6, right? Making an exclamation point. Instead, they get put a question mark next to this drive now after the fumble, even though they recovered it.
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. Myers' kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. Here's Desmond King on the return. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. No reason to do anything foolish as they'll snap it one more time on first down. All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you gotta expect we'll see more of the same in the second half. And to bring the action your way, let's get it right back out to Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. This is DJ Reed returning. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Bucs ready to go here to begin the third quarter. Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's second down.
Well, they always talk about playing great team defense, and that was an excellent example right there. Everyone on assignment, no one in the wrong spot, everyone filling their gaps.
Second down and 8. Wilson gives to Collins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. On first, they go right back to Collins. Now, he's able to break through one tackle, but it slowed him down enough that he could only manage getting back to the line of scrimmage.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here's second and 10. Now Wilson. They'll find Everett there, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
2nd and 4. Now Wilson. That's complete to his running back, Dallas.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Wilson's going to tuck and run. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And the ball on the 30, here's 2nd and 4. To throw is Wilson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Collins. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense, because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
They'll try and run forward with Collins. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He hit his first, now this from 43. And Myers able to knock it through, and that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same, because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
On 1st and 10, it's Taylor. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
Well, let's see. He was 8 of 13 prior to that pass. Now 8 of 14, Charles.
Yeah, that's not horrible, but he's been under a ton of pressure throughout this game. Not able to stay on his spot. You know, quarterbacks talk about that all the time, being able to get to one place, set up and throw. When they make you move a little bit, oftentimes your accuracy suffers.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Taylor. This is Akins hauling in the short pass. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Taylor. And the ball is knocked out. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
So now a 2-point conversion attempt coming for Wilson and the Seahawks.
56 to Mike, boys. 56. Check 56.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. So a big play there. Not only the fumble return for the touchdown, then they get the 2-point try. And, you know, for the defense, though, they were just over there sitting on the field. They had to rush out to try to defend that.
You know, it's funny. They actually practice situations that they call sudden change when the team turns it over. I'll guarantee you no one practices a fumble return for a touchdown like that, and now someone goes for 2. Really good strategy by them putting them in that situation.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And it'll come out to the 25 as King opts for the touchback. Houston's offense taking over again. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them, the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
A handoff to Johnson on the option. And he loses the football a second time.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. The fumble on 1st down. Now here's 2nd down. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Single slot.
Throwing now, Taylor on 1st down. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
And a lot of being a defender is being able to learn what you can and can't get away with when in man coverage. In this case, he got away with it and helped pop that ball free.
2nd and 10. Thanks for tagging along with us here from Houston, Texas. Here's Taylor. Throw right side into the hands of Akins. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Texans on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, it's Taylor. And this is going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Here we go. It's Taylor on 4th down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Taylor will throw again. Screenplay, Johnson. That catch good for only a couple. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
2nd and 8.
56, the mark, boys. 56. Check.
From the shotgun, it's Taylor. Rolling to his left. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
Normally we're talking about a quarterback duel where they're matching each other pass for pass. How about the footwork in this one? Both of these guys running the ball well.
Yeah, they've mixed in the run game. You're exactly right. Now, both coaches might not like how much their quarterbacks have taken off, but another example right there of just good mobility. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Taylor. He'll buy some time right. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Taylor. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. Taylor. Had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
They're going on 4th down. It's Taylor fighting to stay upright. There again is Cooks, complete. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
They go back to the ground with Johnson. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Again, it's Johnson. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Now Taylor to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They'll try and throw for it with Taylor. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. The drive starts with a run by Collins. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And again, it's Collins. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 48 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Wilson now with a handoff to Collins. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
So the victory here for Seattle, and this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field, so you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandin Gunn, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. So long from Houston.